Really appreciate you guys watching the video this week as we are doing a little bit of preparation in our garden, and hopefully you guys have already started a little bit of your garden prep. If you haven't already, now's the time for most of us here in Zone 8A. But if you have or haven't, either way, comment down below. We'd love to see and or hear about what exactly you guys have been doing and what you're excited most about this year.
Dean Family Acres.
Hey guys, so today what we're going to do is start prepping our garden area. And first step, we've got a few things that are a little bit more cool weather crops or early spring crops that we're trying to plant. We need to clean out this bed. So that's step one for today. I'm just going to put you guys up on a time lapse. I think y'all tend to enjoy those, and we can get this cleaned out. And then I don't know if we'll get to pulling up our DeWitt landscape fabric. If you haven't watched that video before, definitely go check that out, because it's been a game changer for us. Some people talk bad about it, but I think as long as you're pulling it up every year, you're kind of doing your soil testing when you do that, see if you need to amend anything like that. It has just completely changed how we garden. So that'll be key. If y'all want to hear more about that, just let us know, because I think we probably need to highlight that yet again this year, and maybe a little more in depth. So from here, let's get this bed cleared out. So as you can see, we were able to get this bed cleaned up and ready to plant. The other, if you are curious about these beds, we actually built these last year, and we've got $9 a piece into these beds. They're 3 foot wide by 9 foot long by about a foot deep. And so $9 into that. Everyone's always wondered about how to be frugal, how to save money. Lumber costs so much. This is the route to take. Check out that video here. As we build the most affordable raised bed ever. Thanks again for watching as we try and expand our homestead on 5 acres here in the upstate of South Carolina. We're in Zone 8A, kind of just in Zone 8A. So again, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll continue to follow along and see how our garden does this year. So every year we have folks ask us, okay, well, I bought this landscape fabric, and does it really prevent everything from coming up? And the answer is yes and no. You'll see this here. I mean, it let a few things come up. That's because we didn't really mess with it all, and I had dirt laying on top. So yeah, it rooted through a little bit, but honestly, it's mostly on top. Secondly, folks ask, because we do definitely have Bermuda and centipede, they ask, does it really stop it? There's your answer. Yes, it really does. And yes, it will kind of grow through it. But you can see there, and on top, again, that's just from soil being built up, because our garden does slope down this way. But that way you can kind of tell exactly how this stuff works and that it really holds up. This is the 3rd year we've used this. And in some areas we have holes. Some areas we actually spaced it out, as you can see here. It works well either way, just depends on what you're planning. This coming year, we actually bought some more of this, and we are going to have one piece that's, I think, 12 foot wide from here to here, and then we'll piece some other pieces together. And that area up there where we put the blackberries, if you haven't seen that video, go check that out up here. But that area where we put that will actually be completely covered. So there won't be a grassy area there. So we're kind of gonna expand this over approximately 6 or 7 feet. I know I plug it, but if you are looking for a frugal way to build a raised bed, that right there, that's it. Because we actually got that idea from Arms family, kind of tweaked it a little bit on our own. We're gonna be removing these panels this year. We've got enough with different things going on. We've got enough that we'll be able to actually incorporate those into the rows here, and we can then access from all sides. We've learned it having these on top. If this is all you had, it would certainly work in regards to spacing if all you had was raised beds, but in regards to being able to reach all the way around, I mean, you certainly can reach. You know, again, there's no problem to reach over there, but you kind of have to stretch. But when you have it where you can get to it from all sides, then that's certainly key. You got any ideas on these bad boys here and how to deal with them in a raised bed? Don't really want to put chemicals in it. I keep hearing DE. We tried that last year, didn't really work too well. So I think that might be the one downside to these metal sides here, is that it keeps things warm. So as you can see, yeah, if you live in the South, you know about these, that's for sure. All right, guys, so you can see there we got up our drip line. We probably should have done that before winter, but we really never had any super cold stuff this winter, so we didn't have to worry about freezing. When you're pulling up this water lines, you want to make sure that these staples, you don't want any of them left in your garden spot if you're going to be using a tractor to till. One of these in your tractor tire will make for a very long day. So that is one downside to using these landscape staples. I think this year we're going to try and use a lot less. That was one of my ideas in regards to having a 12-foot wide piece of landscaping fabric. That's one downside if you're using these individual 4-foot strips, because you got to use these to hold it down. You don't have to. You can use block or bricks or rocks or whatever, but that's something for me, that's something to trip over and work around. And these staples do a great job of holding it down tight, so you're not dealing with wind or wear of it pulling against that rock or that cinder block, etc. So just definitely try your best to figure out what works for you, but just remember, these landscape staples can be a real danger in regards to your tractor tires. All right guys, so y'all can see exactly what we're left with. These rows all the way down through here are where we actually left the fabric apart. So if you're planting something that you kind of want in a row, beans, peas, etc., that might be what you end up with if you don't stay on top of weeding. We kind of did, but then once everything kind of finishes up, it just doesn't make sense. In years past, we've also, like this kind of stuff, you know, we've kind of gotten that up and then swept it to the end. This year we just didn't do it. One kind of cool thing, let's see if I can find one here. These right here, I'm pretty certain those are cricket holes. Another one. Saw some crickets crawling in them, so I think the crickets are living down in here. But there's a lot of benefit to using this weed fabric. Again, you know, the first couple of years we did this, we kind of just tilled and put the fabric on it after we tested the soil and amended as needed. This year we're probably going to do something very similar, but as you can tell, you know, you're going to have some intrusion. You got some really aggressive grass or weeds and you don't stay on top of it at all, but it's really not that bad. You can see kind of the areas where we did take care of it. I mean, it's hardly anything. Just right down through here. And you can see there's a couple little weeds every little bit. Now, across against these raised beds, it's really tough because we do have Bermuda and you about can't keep that stuff out. So, hey guys, Matt Dean here from Dean Family Acres, and hopefully we'll be able to get the garden tilled here before the sun sets. We're gonna try and get this done because it's supposed to rain later on this week a lot, and we want to make sure and get it tilled up, and we don't want to have to wait another week. So, gonna do that and probably pull some soil samples. And that way we know exactly what we need to amend with, and then we can till it again here another week or so and start getting everything lined up in regards to putting the fabric back down. That way we kind of give it an opportunity to breathe, that kind of stuff. So as you can tell before, hopefully everything I talked about before when I pulled up the fabric made sense. If you do have any questions, definitely please comment down below. Happy to answer some of those. So we'll get y'all set up, and well, actually I'll get set up and hopefully get this thing done before it turns into darkness. See y'all in just a sec. Here you can see we are using our Kubota L3300 with our Dixie tiller to till up our garden space. This has worked really, really well. We actually purchased this a number of years ago, right after we moved here to our place as a package deal. So hopefully you were able to learn a little bit when we removed the old plants, mainly the okra, and pulled up the DeWitt landscape fabric and also tilled the garden with our Kubota and Dixie tiller. So we now we've got a couple other things to do. We need to soil test and just see if we need to add anything and till that in. And also we will then need to put the DeWitt landscape fabric back down. I would not advise putting that fabric down 100% and just leaving it, so that you are not allowing that plastic to just break down into your soil. If you take it up and then put it back down, especially if you did something similar, depending on the season, you might even get that to extend further and further out. So definitely check that out. As always, I'll link that DeWitt landscape fabric down below, and also the video from the last couple of years of when we've done that, and I'll link that up here. So this year we're going to do our tomato challenge yet again. So as you're starting your seeds, definitely go ahead and think about growing the largest tomato based off of weight as well as diameter around. Be sure and check out next week's video as we talk about our tomato challenge and those details of when you'll need to shoot a video and upload and tag Dean Family Acres in regards to that. You'll need to do a planting video and you'll need to do a picking / measuring video. So only 2 to participate, and we make it pretty simple. If you want to talk about it more throughout the growing season, you're happy to do that, and we would love to interact with you. So be sure and check that out in next week's video. Circumference is all the way around.
No, it's diameter.
Diameter's all the way around?
Wait.
Diameters are across. Circumference is all the way around, isn't it?
Are you filming me?
Yeah, do you mind tapping on my face again? Ooh, it's got water in it. I'll just sit up over to the side. Do you need to move it